to Ageless Living at voiceamerica.com. And we've been talking today about juicing, and our health tip of the day is cinnamon and sugar, cinnamon, not sugar, with honey.
Mhm.
So to wrap up our health tip of the day, cinnamon and honey together can be helpful or cure many diseases. We've gone over quite a bit, from hair loss, arthritis, to pimples, skin infection, and weight loss. The last one that's amazing, I would love to hear feedback on, is supposed to help with hearing loss.
Oh.
That's a tough one. I mean,
That
like
is a tough
hearing
one.
loss, if you lost your hearing, is there any good solution other than hearing aids?
What do? Q-tip it?
So, yeah, I mean, if there's anything can be done naturally and sweetly,
Mhm.
and can get the hearing back, try it out and give me some feedback. I would love to hear that. And my email address is tongli.md@gmail.com. That is TONGLI.MD@gmail.com.
Wonderful. And so now we're going to be returning to what we kind of started in the beginning of the show, which is juicing versus as making smoothies, blending. Juicing versus blending is a proper
Right. So
terminology.
basically, the choices are you use a blender or use a juicer. I mean, juicer, there's masticating juicer and there's centrifuge juicers. First of all, blenders are usually cheaper. Not always, but you know, it's more affordable. There's some decent, practical ones in Walmart for under $30.
Mhm.
And there's some nicer ones. I've heard quite a few friends, professionals, recommending Vitamix.
Mhm. So if you have a little bit of money to spend the Vitamix. If you are looking at that kind of Walmart budget, then I would recommend the Oster. I've had an Oster for
Sure.
years, and they've worked well.
It's a great brand.
But it still does leave pulp. It doesn't liquefy. So if you're a little bit picky, my wife, for example, hates to eat her smoothies. She wants them to be liquid, and so if you want to liquefy them, then the Vitamix is where you should be.
Right. I personally own a centrifuge juicer,
Mhm.
and the one I have is Breville,
Yeah, Breville.
and it's been working really well for me. And a lot of people have the concern in buying a juicer for regarding to the cleaning time. It's hard to clean. Anyway, this one is easy to clean. It takes me about 2 minutes to clean the filter,
Yeah.
the metal filter mesh. And so when you're purchasing a juicer, make sure you find one that's easy to clean.
Yes.
Masticating, I know that's supposed to be good for you and good to preserve the nutrition and then the enzyme, but it may take a little more time as far as I know. I've never owned one.
I never have either. Because
So-
I'm the same. I own a Breville.
Yeah, but I have heard good recommendations on that too. So basically, if you're gonna go with smoothies, go with a blender. If you go juicing, I would say, well, get a juicer.
And the real pros and cons what I took away from my research, the pros and cons are that if you're basically a pretty healthy person, and that you're not exactly trying to lose weight, you're just trying to be healthy, then your smoothies are good because it's combining it all into one one smoothie. And you can also make it in the morning and take it with you, as long as you drink it within 24 to
Right.
36
We didn't
hours.
get a chance to really talk about the advantages of fresh juices. Apparently, juicing is a shortcut. You get to the nutrition directly, not involving too much of a digesting system. But you know what? Healthy people don't need the shortcut that much.
Correct. So that's
unless
where
you have
blending is good.
Yes, unless you have a digestive problem, you're elderly, or you really want to give your body a break,
Mhm.
not doing the digestive work, then I guess that advantage would be significant. Otherwise, blending is just as good.
So, for example, I have a family member who has gout, and he juices specifically to get high dosages of certain nutrients and certain pH levels. He's trying to balance the pH to manage that gout, and as long as he gets that high concentration of juice every morning, his gout problems don't flare up. On the other hand, if he doesn't, they flare up. And so to him, he would not, blending would not be good for him because he would have to drink so much to be able to get that same concentration.
That brings another advantage of juicing over smoothie. That is, you can pretty much juice any produce, like potatoes, beets, and carrots. You can really make good smoothies out of those.
And kind of going back to what we're talking about, what I call the beer theory, the bong theory, you know, you just get it down in 3 seconds. And so I'm able to put down things that I just would never put into a smoothie because I would expect it to taste good. And so I can put down in 3 to 5 seconds things that I would never put up with in any other form. Eating them, certain vegetables you hate, you might want to juice them and just throw them down your gullet.
Right. Lastly, I want to kind of touch up on the subject of protein that we always meant to talk about, never had time to.
Mm-hmm.
Protein is a big concern. We're talking about muscle. Are you kidding? You know, so it's important. But there's some misconceptions people usually have. People believe protein only goes into muscles. If you eat a lot of protein, it's only good for the muscles. Well, it's not exactly true. If you eat too much protein, it's going to be burned as calories.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be stored as fat.
Sure.
So the 3 big categories of nutrition, nutritional materials, which is protein, fat, and carbohydrates, they kind of intertwine together. They relate to each other. When they're metabolized down to the basic units, they actually can enter each other's pathway, metabolic pathways. And so if you are, in a starvation stage, you are going to lose muscle. You're not only going to lose muscle, you're going to lose fat. So when you're really doing a juicing, cleansing kind of diet, fasting diet, it's likely that you're going to lose some muscle bulk. But guess what? You can build it back.
You can, and if I'm going to deviate just a second, I did a lot of research on protein, and your whey powders, your whey isolates, those are considered normal protein. Well, that's not true. It's as close to meat as you can get, but there's not vegan. But there are 2 types of protein that I've tried, and that have seemed to work well inside of my body are pea protein. So it's actually concentrated protein from peas, and also concentrated protein, and I guess it's okay to say this on the air, hemp protein is also also a very good protein. And if you go to livestrong.com, you can do your own research on it, and you'll be able to find out what I said too. So you can actually put those into your shakes and that kind of thing, and beef up the protein.
That's right. So last message is, no matter how good this information is, you have to do it. Don't be the one who is, I knew it, be the one that I do it.
Absolutely. And also, don't just rely on Dr. Lee. You have a physician too. Feel free to bounce it off of your physician, and choose a holistic physician as well. So again, thanks for tuning in to Ageless Living here on World Talk Radio and Voice America. This is your host, Kurt Wilhelm.
This is your host, Dr. Tong Lee. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in.